Let's play a game, shall we? It's called Guess Who Said It, but none of these quotes are from Trump or any Republican. These quotes are straight from top Democrats. And you'll see real quick that they don't change for morals, they change for votes. Let's begin, shall we? Marriage is between a man and a woman. I do not support gay marriage. You'd assume conservative, right? Nope, Joe Biden, 2006. Now he pretends he's been pro-LGBT forever. Nope, turns out he just waited until it's politically safe. Next quote. Marriage has always been between a man and a woman. Any guesses? Hillary Clinton, 2004. When public opinion flipped, boom, so did she. And not out of conviction, just calculation. Next one. We simply cannot allow people to pour into the US undocumented and unchecked. Sounds like Trump, right? Nope, it was Barack Obama, 2005. And now his party calls border control racist. They didn't grow compassion, they just grew poll numbers. This is fun, let's continue. Who said, I don't want my children growing up in a racial jungle? It was Joe Biden, 1977. He was talking about school busing and integration. Now he lectures everyone about racism, but back then he was afraid his children would be on a school bus with black kids. And in case any liberal wants to make the claim, that was 1977, Joe Biden changed. Here's another quote. This one's from 2007 when he was referring to Barack Obama. And I quote, I mean, you got the first mainstream African American who is articulate and bright and clean. Excuse me? What about 2020 Biden? And I quote again, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or for Trump, you ain't black. Sorry, what? Next quote. I voted for the border fence. I don't think we should reward people who broke the law to get here. That's Chuck Schumer, 2009. Now he's crying on camera talking about inhumane policies. Amazing how fast they switch up. And here's the kicker. None of them have ever really denounced these quotes. No real apologies, no big speeches saying, hey, I was wrong. They've just quietly pretended that they've always believed what's popular right now. They don't evolve out of morality. All they did was pivot for power. These people don't stand for principles. They stand for whatever polls best this week. So next time that they call conservatives extreme, just remind them that their own words tell a whole different story.
Absolutely. The real problem, though, is that you have a lot of people out here, voters, their constituents, that are not willing to hold these people to their words and their positions from 10, 15, 20 years ago. And you have a lot of people that are willing to say, hey, Joe Biden, he might have been racist back in the 70s, but he wouldn't dare be that way today. Although there's been a history, there's a history of sound bites from these guys that just sound crazy. And if Trump had that same history, I promise you mainstream media would be running it on repeat, and they would have been running it on repeat for the better part of 10 years now. You guys know it. You guys know it. But what we do understand and what we know about the mainstream media is that they cape for the Democrat Party because they are the media arm of the DNC. I have a few more clips to share with you guys. Hit that like button, share this video, subscribe to the channel. Let's keep going.
I want the Iranians to know that if I'm the president, we will attack Iran. Whatever stage of development they might be in their nuclear weapons program in the next 10 years, during which they might foolishly consider launching an attack on Israel, we would be able to totally obliterate them. That's a terrible thing to say, but those people who run Iran need to understand that, because that perhaps will deter them from doing something that would be reckless, foolish, and tragic.
Not Hillary Clinton proving me right again. She wasn't the only one saying that. Obama, Schumer, Pelosi, and other prominent Democrat leaders of today were also saying the same thing in '08. That is when I was a Democrat. It's cool when they do it. It's a problem when Trump do it. I need somebody in the Democrat Party explain to me how y'all did a complete 180. Because what Trump is doing today is actually what the Democrats used to stand on back then. And I'm embarrassed to have ever been a Democrat, you hypocrites.
Hey. When the receipts come out, it's hard to refute the receipts. It's one thing if it was written. It's another thing when we get a chance to see your videos. We get to hear the soundbite. We get to watch you in real time say it. Again, I got to go back to it and say, there's a lot of people out there that, one, won't take that time to do this, take the extra step and do the research to find out this information that we've been talking about for quite some time. The Democrat Party plays on the ignorance of their party. And unfortunately, a lot of the people that are within that party, they're ignorant, not because the information isn't out there, it's because they're willfully ignorant. They're willfully ignorant. They're also useful idiots for a party that wants to see our country implode from the inside out. I guess implode would mean that, right? But that's what they want. Let's keep going.
But they also became, with their kind of scolding, virtue signaling cancelling, whining, joyless agenda, they became the very thing they profess to hate most. They say they hate fascists. They call everybody fascist. If you don't agree with their ridiculous worldview, you are a fascist. And yet, oddly, what was their behaviour? Pure fascism. Cancelling, shaming, vilifying, destroying anybody who disagrees with.
Yeah, Pierce is absolutely right. Everything that the Democrat Party tells you that the conservatives are, that President Trump is, that the Trump administration is, everything that they tell you that they're doing, they either are doing it, would like to do it, or they've done it in the past. I'm a firm believer. I tell people all the time, I'm like, hey, just listen to them talk. One, when you allow people to talk long enough, they'll tell you who they are, but just listen to them talk. They will tell you all the things that they either want to do or things that they are doing. For whatever reason, they can't help themselves. They got to tell on themselves. They have to. The problem is, again, and I keep saying this, you have a lot of people that are willfully ignorant. They're willfully ignorant. And they can't see themselves supporting anybody other than the Democrat Party, not because they know that the Republicans are and the conservatives, that movement and the MAGA movement is a better option. It's just the fact that a lot of them fear being ostracized by family members, friends, co-workers, so forth and so on. And even those that say, I'm done with the Democrat Party, I'm going independent, what do they typically do? They just continue to vote blue no matter who. That side of things, it is truly a cult. I know they've called those that support the MAGA movement, those that are conservatives, those that believe in the word of God, cultists. You're part of a cult. But you haven't seen a cult until you've met people that are staunch liberals. The groupthink, the echo chambers, the way they talk, the way they look at the world, the way they look at our country, it's all the same. And even if they thought that they, if they had a difference of thought, they wouldn't voice it because you can't voice a difference of thought when you're on that side of things. I want you guys to check out this old clip from President Trump on the Joe Rogan podcast over a year ago at this point.
Rebels are Republicans now. They're like, you want to be a rebel, you want to be punk rock, you want to buck the system, you're a conservative now. That's how crazy. And then the liberals are now pro silencing criticism. They're pro censorship online. They're talking about regulating free speech and they're regulating the First Amendment. It's bananas to watch.
Joe, they come after their political opponent.
Well, they
I
do.
got more guys. I always say, I kid, but I'm not kidding. I've been investigated more than Alphonse Capone. He was the meanest of them all. He'd kill you in 2 seconds if he didn't like you, right? I've been under investigation more than Alphonse Capone, only because it's political opponent stuff. And I've won. I won the big case in Florida. I'm winning the other stuff. You win, but you know what they did? They did something that's only done in third world countries. They came after their political opponent.
Yes.
I could have put crooked Hillary in jail.
Well, not only that, but they're weaponizing it by saying that that's what you're going to do once you get in office.
Isn't it
by
great?
ignoring what they're doing right now. It's crazy.
I heard it. Somebody was defending me today. They said, no, they say that's what you're doing to him. They're going, he's going to put us in jail. He's going to invest.
That's what you're doing.
That's what you're doing to him.
Yeah.
A lot of people say, will you do that? Will you do that to him, to them, if you win? It's the presidency has tremendous power. I could have put crooked Hillary
I
in
respected
jail.
that you didn't because what you said was it would be bad for the country.
It would set precedents, but Democrats don't care about setting precedents. They really don't. And they spent, 3 years, 4 years? I mean, honestly, longer than that because they impeached the man, in the House. But the previous 4 years, they spent a lot of time, a lot of money, a lot of resources that should have been used on other investigations and things of that nature to take this man down. It didn't work, but they did it. And they set a precedence of, especially from the Democrat Party anyway, of coming after political opponents. They set a precedent there. Like, hey, if we know we can't beat you, we'll just come after you politically and we'll just do everything that we can to tear you down. Fortunately, President Trump has the resources to fight, but what about the people that don't have those same type of resources? When the machine is after you, most people are going to back down and fold. Most people are, unless they can some kind of way get the American people on their team, and that may change things. That may change things. But you have entirely too many people that witnessed what happened over the previous 4 years. And they didn't bat an eye. They didn't say anything, didn't say a word. They let this go. Silence gives consent. What happens the next time this happens? The next time there's a highly contested race out there, Democrats want to win really bad, and they're saying, okay, this is the next target. We're going after them because we think that they are now going to be the base and the face of the party. We're going after them. I think, I'm extremely, appreciative that the president won this time around. And I don't have an issue, with what he's doing. But I'm not gonna lie to you and say that I'm not looking forward to, these, the terms, being over with, so we can get out of the orange man bad, Trump's the cause of everything. He's the root of all evil. We can get rid of that, and maybe we get back. But then again, it makes me wonder, who's going to be the next boogeyman? Who's going to be the next? Is it JD Vance? Is it Ron DeSantis? Who is it? Is it Rubio? Who's going to be the next boogeyman? That's the question. Because if you notice with the Democrats, they don't refute policy. They don't necessarily refute the agenda. They refute the individual. It's rare that they discuss policy. And they don't typically discuss policy with their constituents. And to be honest with you, I don't think their constituents care much about policy. They right now just care, hey, we got to do everything that we can to beat Trump because orange man bad. And it's ridiculous. But I want to hear from you guys in the comment section. What are your thoughts? Do you think things will change? Do you think things will get better when it comes to the Democrat Party? Do you think it's just a lost cause with them and we got to do everything that we can to strengthen this side of things, to combat the foolery that comes from the left? Are we there at this point to where people could just have to wake up and just say, hey, man, these people are, enemies of the country. They're not friends. They don't want to see, our nation, they don't want to see us succeed. They don't want to see us grow. They don't want to see us thrive. They ultimately want to see the demise of our nation. And we just, got to do everything that we can to combat that. Is that pretty much where we are when it comes to dealing with the left? I want to hear from you guys. Hit that like button, share the video, subscribe to the channel, turn the notifications on to all so you never miss an upload. Consider joining the ARP family or buy your brother a coffee. That link's in the description box below. Shout out to everybody that supports the channel, all my ARP family members, man. Thank you guys very much. Join us Monday through Friday, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for ARP in the morning. Join us Wednesday evening, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the Late Shift Crew. Come check us out. If you're not subscribed to that channel, go over to the Late Shift Crew. Go subscribe to the channel there. Hey, I appreciate the love, support, man. I appreciate you guys rocking with me. As always, keep God first. Stay prayed up. We'll catch up with you all next time. Peace.
We won't stop. I won't quit. Stand for the truth. No counterfeit. Real ones rise. Let the fake ones split. Repent for the lies. Let the darkness live.